Okay, so I didn't make the midnight deadline. I apologize. This was not me forgetting. I actually had to take Michael home tonight. Sad face. Yeah, guys, I got off at 11 o'clock, and then I had to run him home, which was like a 20-minute drive from Fairfax, and then I had to drive a half hour back from where he lives to where I live. So, yes, unfortunately, I'm filming this at 12:15. So this is going to be another double whammy, except it's not going to be as long because I am officially sick. I've pretty much realized it. I've been trying to fight it off and shrug it off as allergies, but I feel like doo-doo. I'm like lethargic as crap, and I've got a little bit of a fever, and I've just been playing crappy all day. So yeah, it's a cold, motherfucker. Anyway, so I'm just going to do 4 questions tonight, and this is going to be another. This is going to count as what is now yesterday, and it's going to count as today, so I can get back on the cycle of doing one when I get off of work for the following day. Yes, I know I completely fail at Jaded January. I am aware of this, but you know what? 30 videos or whatever, 30 days of videos back to back can be really, really complicated when you have to get your entire life into it and try to remember to do it, because you end up at like 11 o'clock at night playing the game and being like, oh shit. So I apologize. But the point is to make a lot of videos. So while I may not have gotten every single day, I've gotten a lot of days, and that's what counts, right? Anyway, so first question from Nettie Tonight. What would you say is your best and worst attribute? If someone gave you a coupon for free plastic surgery, what would you have done? Easy. I would get an eye lift or a cheek lift. Now, you can't see them because of the light. Because if I get closer, it's harder to see it. But, okay, right here, and it's hard because the light is so bright that it doesn't show it, but if you were looking at regular light, I have a crease here. Basically, on the top of my cheekbones, I have creases. Whether they're from bags on my eyes or smiling or whatever, but to me, they're noticeable. So I would just get a very, very mild lift right there to make them gone. Not like, nah. But yeah, so next question. Grim Reviewer wanted to know if you read any comic books, and if so, which is your absolute favorite? I haven't actually read comics in years, but when I did read comics, my favorite was from the Ultraverse series, and it was a series called Mantra. And Ultraverse was not very widely known from what I understand, and I found these comics in a bin at Goodwill, and it was about a barbarian who ends up getting reincarnated in a very nubile female's body. Makes for a very interesting plotline. And no, the story was kind of interesting, and the Ultraverse series was actually really cool, so I liked it. And Hot Missa, what is the most fun that you've ever had on a date, and why? Well, that is something that has recently changed. The most fun that I have had on a date, and why, non-sexual, of course, as she said, would honestly be my first date with Michael. And I'm not saying that because he's the person that I'm seeing now, and I'm not saying that because I like him a lot. I'm saying it because of the simple fact that it was very unorthodox. It was very, very spur of the moment and instantaneous. We got together at 5 or 6 in the morning and hung out all day. And we had breakfasty, dinner, lunch, whatever you want to call it, after we'd been hanging out. So instead of beginning the date with dinner and, conversation or whatever, we had the conversation and hanging out first, and then went to dinner, and then went to the movie. So it was kind of like a dyslexic date, which I thought was awesome. And the reason that was the most fun that I had it because it's the first time in a very long time that I've actually been able to be 100% myself with someone. Like to the point of like every aspect of my personality was able to show itself, and I didn't feel like I have to restrict something, because we all have that moment where you go out with somebody and it's like, okay, they would appreciate this aspect of me, but not this one, so I'm going to tone that down. Pretty much everything that we talked about was like hitting a nail on the head, and it was just awesome, and I had a lot of fun just being relaxed and hanging out and being with someone cool. So honestly, that was the most fun that I've had in a long time on a date, and there was no pressure. It was just very cool, very laid back, so yeah. That being said, yes, it is almost the end of January, and I know that we are expecting the Deadlies to come back. We are still working on that. I'm probably shooting to push back the launch date to mid-February. I gotta actually save some money up, not much, but enough to make a road trip, because I want to actually try and do something awesome for the first episode back, which would be my episode. But I also want to give a little bit more time and try and find the 7th person, because we're still down 1 person. But they will be coming back, and we will be as fierce as ever. Season 3 is going to be awesome. McKinley and I have been plotting. Anyway, I will leave it at that, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Later, Poppets.